So it's interesting now that we're going to have comments from Chiara Capoluongo, who is coming to us really from the law enforcement side. She's going to talk to us about cybercrime. She's the public prosecutor for the Tribunale di Palermo. Thanks, Chiara.
Dag Fien. Dus gewoon. Ik zie een school tegen Antwerpen.
Ja.
Insecten.
Dat blieft?
Ik voel 2 insecten op je rug. Kan dat?
Ja, vlinders.
Slovenie?
Zo hè.
Een moto. Oranje.
Pas erop.
Zenit.
Oui, bien.
Je hebt een vriendin. Julie de... Met wie?
Ja.
Een boeiend liefdesleven. 3, 4 zelfs.
De vierde, daar zwijg ik meestal over, dus dat weten niet veel mensen.
Hoe is het met je spierscheur? Une maison rouge, balcon blanc. Ja. Ik zie geld, ik zie transacties. Maar kent je rekeningnummer van buiten? Ik denk dat ik het wel weet. Die staat wel negatief op je bankrekening.
Ja?
97. Last month, you spent €200 on alcohol. Vorige maand €300 aan kleding gespendeerd. 8.
Ja.
5. Voor een huis dat van eigenaar gaat veranderen. €795.000.
Ja, eigenlijk.
41.
Ja.
Is dat juist?
Ja, dat is juist. Oh my god. Oh nee. Ah, dat is, ik weet niet hoe eng.
Does it work? Okay, I'm a public prosecutor, so every day in my office in Italy, in Palermo, I have to face a lot of complaints of denounce of cybercrime. There are a lot of crimes like identity theft, something more serious like childhood pornography, and so on. But we have a lot of problems to try to catch criminals who are charged of these crimes, because in real world we have borders. If I have to catch a criminal that is dealing drug along the street, or a man who tried to kidnap a girl, it should be easier, because online world has not border. So it's the main problem we cannot forget. This is the virtual crime scene. I'm not very social, I can't because of my job, but you know there are a lot of social networks, Telegram, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so on. And in a lot of countries, we have a very additional increase in volume, scope, and financial damage of cybercrime that has reached such a level that in some EU countries may have surpassed traditional crime in terms of reporting. Okay, so I try to not be too much boring to explain the tools we have, how is our job to try to fight cybercrime. We have in the present information age communicated through open channels, and this is the most important question, the most important problem we have. The privacy issues simulate stronger forms of protection like encryption and anonymization. So for us it's harder to find the real criminal that is behind a laptop. The most important problem is the deterritorialization, because the internet has no geographic boundaries, so it's not very easy. So what do we need, and how do we need it? I think that we need, first of all, collaboration among all the states, because if you are committing a cybercrime and there are no borders, also in Palermo, you can have a damage, but you can stay in another country, you can stay also here. So we can ask collaboration to the other countries, and we have to ask collaboration also to ask to have log files, to have something that only Facebook or Google has. Which are the laws we can apply? In each country we have some statements that try to regulate these crimes. In Italy we have crimes like serious or less serious about cybercrime and a lot of statements. But we have a convention that is of 20 years ago, the Budapest Convention. This is the first international treaty on crimes committed on internet. And its main objective is to pursue a common criminal policy aimed at the protection of society against cybercrime. These are our tools. I don't want to be too much technical. These are most important tools we have. For example, I talk to spontaneous information. If I need information, and I can ask to another country, but I can also give all the information I have to another country. According to Article 26, the dispatch of information can be submitted to certain conditions, mainly of confidentiality. So I can choose to give what I have to another country. And also the Article 32 of Budapest Convention about transborder access to stored computer data. Possibility given to law enforcement from a party to obtain evidence stored in a computer physically located in another party's territory, without any request of international cooperation. If during a cognate investigation the officer in charge needs to obtain source information from a computer located in a foreign country, or access data with the lawful and voluntary consent of the lawfully authorized person. So I was to talk about some very simple principles. Maybe for most of you are obvious, but I'm not real addicted to technology, and I have to know what is an ISP, what is a DNS to do my job. So this is a very important, very important role, the ISP, because the companies that provide internet access and online services are SP, and we have to ask to Facebook or Google or Twitter and so on for first the IP address of a person. The first number of an IP address identifies a country and the regional network. Then comes the subnetwork, and finally the address of the specific device. But an IP can be dynamic, not only static. And if you know where the person is writing behind his laptop, you can know the place, you can know the time, but you cannot know who is behind that laptop, so who is the actual user. DNS is a more familiar principle with us, that is associated with a website with a name, but by a company. And to share or to divide all the DNS, they are divided into virtual zones like org, net, and so on. The site is installed on a server that, being connected to the net, has an IP address, creating a DNS table of correspondence between them. DNS is an open and public system, so it's vulnerable to cyber attack like spoofing. So sometimes you are finding for something, but you face something that is real different, and you can be tricked to transfer money to another site. So these are two important judgments of European Court of Human Rights that show you how it's hard to work in this field, because you have every day balance the necessary to catch the criminal, also for important crimes like child pornography, with another right, that is right of private life, that is right to have protected your data. So this is an important judgment of last year in a child pornography peer-to-peer file sharing case, where a dynamic IP address has been obtained by the Swiss police that subsequently forwarded that into the Slovenian police, who then obtained from an ISP the name and address of the subscriber, found a violation of Article 8 of the Convention of Rights. So you think it's normal, I have to catch a criminal if he is sharing child pornography on the web, but it's not so easy, because I have to remember that I can violate an article that is regulates the private life. And this is another judgment of European Court of Human Rights in relation to the acquisition of data. The court noted that the EU law required that any regime allowing access to data held by CSPs had to be limited to the purpose of combating serious crime, and that access be subject to prior review by a court or independent administrative body. As such, there had been the violation of Article 8. So we have a graduation of crime, it's a graduation of right we have to protect. And this, for example, an article of the statement and the decision of the European Court of Human Rights sustain 6 criteria for proportional bulk interception. So based on the nature of offenses, on the categories of people affected, because if there are children, there are damaged, it's more it's easier. I can have information. Limits of duration, because I can't spy life of people for a long time, procedure for examination, use and storage, condition for communication, and above all, condition for erasure and destruction. So ensure that your data don't stay for a long time on the web. You can start to investigate people collecting information, collecting evidence yourself, for example, on Facebook, Twitter, and so on. But anybody can guarantee the authenticity. So you have to contact an OSP to ask the IP, and then you can maybe arrive to catch the criminal. This is the long procedure we have today to obtain information to another state. It's very long, because if I'm a prosecutor in a member state A and I need information in another country, so this is a case in which there was a terrorist attack in a member state, and the police connect the suspect to a terrorist cell that has been involved in an attack in another member state. To have information, I have to ask it to the judge, because I'm a public prosecutor, and each my request has to be approved by the judge. The judge sends it to the central authority that forwards to central authority of non-EU country, who sends to prosecutor from the other country. Prosecutor obtains an order from the judge in the other country, and so on. At the end of this long chain, I will obtain the information. This is the system we desire, we hope, and sure can make easier our investigation. If I'm a prosecutor, and after the approbation of a judge, I can ask directly the information to a member state, and so in this case, I can obtain information in a very easier and quickly way. Thank you all.
Great. Thank you very much, Chiara.